Hi, Rob with 3Strong Fitness. In this portion control guide, I am going to show you how to create balanced meals that help you burn some fat, build some muscle, and maintain a healthy body weight, all without counting calories or measuring food on a scale. What we're going to do is you're going to measure portions, food portions, based on your hand. This is what that looks like. So we have it broken down into 4 major food groups, and I'm going to explain these in a little bit more detail later on in the video. But here's a quick synopsis of what I'm talking about here. So, first one, serving of protein. Your protein serving will be roughly the size of your palm. If you just look at the palm of your hand, it's roughly the size of a chicken breast. All right? That's 1 serving of protein-dense food. Next, moving on to vegetables. The vegetable portion will be a fist size. So the size of your fist is going to be 1 serving of vegetables. Next will be carbs. 1 cupped handful, so however much food can fit in your cupped hand, will be 1 serving of carbohydrates, carbohydrate-dense food. And then the last one is fat-dense food. That is, your 1 serving will be the size of your thumb. Okay, now let's cover each of these in a little bit more detail. The protein, so these are your meats, your fish, your eggs, cottage cheese, and even Greek yogurt. Granted, I should say that the yogurts, notice how it says Greek yogurt. A lot of yogurts are very high in sugar. And since we're talking about protein-dense food, we want the majority of calories of that particular food coming from protein. So if you look on a label of yogurt, a lot of times they're not primarily protein. So definitely look at that label and make sure that most of the calories are coming from protein. For men and women, the serving sizes are going to be a little bit different. So if we think of the size of our palm, that's about the size of a chicken breast. And that's going to be between 20 to 30 grams of protein. For men can have a larger portion. So they're going to have 2 palm-sized servings of protein per meal. That's going to be about 40 to 60 grams of protein. And then women are going to stick with 1 palm-sized portion of protein, which leaves them about 20 to 30 grams of protein. All right. Step 2. Vegetables. So, hopefully you know what vegetables are and how to identify them. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is your broccoli, your spinach, any of the vegetables you'd put on a salad, carrots obviously, and all the other ones. All right, now this is a fist size portion, which is 1 serving. For men, you get 2 fist-size portions. For the women, we're going to stick with the 1 serving, so the fist-size portion of vegetables. Okay? Step 3. Now we're filling in the rest of the plate. Now this is your carbohydrate-dense portion. Remember, carbohydrate-dense portion. So these are the higher sugar, higher carbohydrate containing foods, all right? So these are your grains, your starches, your beans, and fruit. Yes, if you do look at the nutrition labels on any one of these, maybe they contain a little bit of fat, and maybe they contain a few grams of protein. But most of their calories are going to come from carbohydrates, so that's why we're putting them in this carbohydrate group. Okay, the men allotted 2 cupped handfuls, so that's as much rice or grains or whatever it is, as even fruit, as you can fit into your palm. That's not very much. That still only allows, even with 2 portions, giving you about 40 to 60 grams of carbohydrates. And for women, the 1 portion is going to be about 20 to 30 grams of carbohydrates. Step 4, final thing. Now your fats. Your fat-dense foods. This is going to be your oils, your butters, your nut butters, even your nuts and your seeds. Because like I said, these are your fat-dense foods. These are the foods where most of the calories come from fat. And that, if you look at nuts and seeds, yes, there is some protein in there, but the majority, over 75% of the calories come from fat, so it needs to be put into this fat-dense category. Men, again, 2 servings, so a thumb-sized portion, 2 thumb-sized portions of fat. That'll give you about 15 to 25 grams of fat per meal. And then for the women, 1 serving, thumb-sized portion of fat, is going to be about 7 to 12 grams. All right, so now you've put together your plate of food. I want you to think about eating as a skill. And just like any other skill, it takes practice. So don't feel like, with this information that I've presented, that you have to try to overhaul your diet right away, right now. Look at this guide, compare it to what you're currently doing, and then just change one thing at a time. And then once you get that thing down, you can slowly add in more things. And then eventually, your plate and your proportions on your plate will look very much like this, okay? So, the takeaway, if you're gonna change one thing right now, look at your diet and do this. Add a fist-sized portion, at least one, to one meal every day. And if you're already doing that, fantastic. The next thing to do is then to add in more protein and then work your way through the steps. I have to be honest, all the information presented in this guide was not created by me. It was created by the people at precisionnutrition.com. They are fantastic nutritionists. So they have created a wonderful infographic where I got all the visuals here from. That is actually going to be linked in the description to this video below, so you can have a nice little take-home guide that you can utilize and hopefully formulate better meals. Good luck.